The word important is defined as being of great significance or value. In regards to art, it means being significantly original or influential. Now when you look at music, when was the last time it felt important? Like, truly important? The fact is that music has changed. It just doesn't have the same effect that it used to. And this video will explain the two main reasons, with one of those actually being your fault. We'll begin with the faults of the artist. Everyone knows that in the past decade, short form content has skyrocketed, and a common link between most TikToks or Reels, etc. is music. Most of the clips you watch either have a popular backing track or are literally performing a trend from a song that has gone viral. The fact is that when a song goes viral on TikTok, it starts performing extremely well on both streaming services and the charts, giving artists a huge incentive to aim for these viral songs as they get money, fame, and all that good stuff. But that's also where the problems begin. If an artist aims to make a song go viral, it can come off as inauthentic, similar to how streamers often fake or plan specific events in order to clip farm and gain loads of impressions. Artists can now do the same thing. Throw in a bar that's out of pocket or a chorus that is slightly unorthodox and TikTok will eat it up and create thousands of videos with that small part. Then, when it comes to knowing the rest of the song, these listeners have absolutely no idea.
Nobody sang the next verse embarrassing as.
You could have the most meaningful and deep song, but listeners will only care about the viral sound. In fact, Andre 3000 said it best over 2 decades ago. The incentive is no longer to make important music, but music that blows up off a 15-second segment, whether that be the chorus or a specific line. Now it's no surprise that artists want to make money, so I can't really blame them for wanting to start a trend, but there is something that they can be blamed for: a lazy rollout. The rollout is a huge part of making music important. Kanye is or was a master of making an album a global event. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy had the Good Friday drops, the Runaway short film, and the perfect singles. The Life of Pablo had iconic listening parties and the live action album. Yeezus had new slaves projected on buildings all over the world. Even Donda in recent years had the 24-hour stream and the LPs that were basically theatre productions. Now compare that to any new artist, and I'm talking about artists that blew up in the 2020s, not the Travises, the Tylers, or the Weeknds, who still have the ability to make a new release feel important. It seems the art of the rollout has been lost amongst the newer generations, who instead aim for these viral snippets that do the promotion for them. And yes, Playboy Carti, I'm looking at you. Most rollouts have blended into the same boring routine. Clear Instagram feed, post cover art, drop snippets, reveal release date, drop merch and bundles, and throw in a few bonus tracks for good measure. It's this lack of originality that makes it difficult for a new album to seem important and create waves in the industry like they did before. But it's not only the artist's fault. Like I mentioned at the start, you are probably part of the problem. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as a large percentage of you haven't done so yet. Now, when was the last time you bought physical music? You know, actually went to the store, picked out a CD or vinyl, took it home, put it in a music player and just sat and listened. I'm sure some of you have, but for most of us, and I'm guilty of this too, music is mostly consumed on digital streaming platforms, which actually makes it lose importance, and let me explain exactly why. For one, you lose a lot of personal connection to the music that you're listening to. That whole process I just talked about actually gave the music more importance, as all you do now is open up an application and tap play, which brings about a load of distractions in itself. Obviously, music being more accessible to people is a good thing, but it's undeniable that the instant gratification of streaming services has also made it less important, at least in terms of listening. Think of it this way: if you listen to an album on Spotify and you don't like it, it is so easy to just stop listening and move on to the millions of other options. But if you've actually gone out of your way to buy the music, you're bound to have more patience with it and at least give it a few chances. A concept that has become lost on people in recent years.
Shout out YB, I'm not finishing this album. This is not for me.
It doesn't help that artists just use physical media as a way to get their first week sales up by bundling it with clothes and other merch. But that's hardly their fault, as streaming is the much more popular option for the majority of listeners. And this actually leads directly into my second point, which is that streaming services and playlisting in particular has replaced the personal connection that people used to feel with artists and certain albums. Don't get me wrong, music mixes have existed for a long time, but at least people had to listen to whole albums to find their favourite songs and put their favourite songs into that mix. Nowadays, the amount of playlists that are shoved in your face that are curated by someone over at Spotify is crazy. You can listen to 10 songs created by 10 different artists from which you remember none, making what used to be a personal exploration of music into a passive experience. Not only that, but playlisting has also ruined the experience of an album. Artists used to tell stories with their projects or had some sort of concept going, but now albums are often just playlists in themselves with no clear direction or narrative, something that, once again, the newer generations are culprits of. Compare Good Kid Mad City or American Gangster with something like Music or Gunna's latest album. The difference is night and day. And don't get me wrong, Gunna still makes good music, but to put in a playlist, not sit through and listen to as a whole album. And that is largely a result of how people are listening to music. These listening habits and need for instant dopamine has forced artists to conform to the listener. When I said it was your fault, I wasn't joking. Now obviously I'm making a lot of generalizations here, and there is still music out there that feels important, both personally to you as well as to art itself. But one question remains, will music ever feel important like it did before? I would love to have a different answer, but honestly, I just can't see it happening. The recent rise of artificial intelligence has posed serious risks to the importance of music. With AI actually performing songs instead of artists, even those that used to be great have fallen victim to laziness. In case you didn't get who I meant, I was talking about Kanye West, the ultimate double-edged sword, an artist who used to be great but has felt less important as time goes on, much like music itself. Soon, we'll be seeing AI artists take over the industry, with one already charting on the billboards, meaning that music may not only be less important, but completely soulless as well. Or maybe, just maybe, this is the wake-up call that will finally encourage artists to be original once again.